Hey guys, I'm here at Get On My Level 2018 with none other than Allegiance, n0ne. n0ne, how are you feeling here at home in Toronto?
It's about time. I've been away for so long, since like November. It's great to be home.
Does being here give you any extra drive to play to win the tournament?
I mean, definitely, yeah. There's people. It's my home region. People are here rooting for me and everything, and obviously you want to make it like as far as possible.
So you were just recently at Summit, and you actually made it there by auto qualification by placing high enough. Did being able to get in just like from the start add to the experience at all? Like make it you're like, oh, I'm just smooth sailing the whole time, or how did that change with getting in?
I mean, definitely, it was like I campaigned for Summit 3. This time I just watched from the sidelines. It was amazing. I was just like, yeah, let's see who makes it in this time. And it's a different experience. It's definitely dope to make it in that way, and hopefully for next time I can do that again.
So I was just talking to Ginger, actually, another person who got in, but actually through voting, and I was talking to him about the Summit level up. You know, Zane went, he had a crazy tournament, and then he destroyed everyone at Pound Underground, and then he lost to Junebug, but he's got, do you think the Summit level up is real? Do you think that for yourself is real, or for other people is?
I mean, definitely, you're playing with the top like 10 players in the world, and you're playing against them for like 4 days, and like that in itself, just think about it, like the experience that you'll gain just by playing and by talking to them is something else.
How much do you think the balance of playing and talking was in terms of helping you learn and get better?
Well, it definitely, I think, goes hand in hand, because you have to execute, you have to play. But when you're against top players and you're doing friendlies with them, obviously you can ask them and they can explain. Then you just start to like mindstorm, and then it goes from there.
When you're playing when you're playing friendlies at Summit, are you going all Falcon, or do you ever like goof around with people and just play secondaries? Or I mean Ganon too, since you're secondary.
Yeah, I play Fox on the side. Fox is really good to get your hands in, get your hands warm, and obviously who doesn't like to play against a Fox, right?
Yeah. So one thing that was a little bit sad for you is that up until the very end at Summit, you were not in any of the skits, and you and Hugo were bemoaning that the whole time. But I also think that the community in general has this idea of you as this very stoic person, like all the other Falcons. But if you look at your Twitter and stuff, you're always talking about old school RPGs and stuff. You got all these other interests. Do you have any thoughts? Like, do you think about making your personality more known to the community, or are you fine with just letting your play speak for itself?
Well, I mean, obviously, I definitely want like my personality to get out there. When I'm playing, I'm a much more serious guy. Like when I'm playing, it's all business. It's all about the game. But usually, I'm an outgoing guy. I like to be social, and overall, like over this year, I'm gonna do the best I can to get it out there.
We saw you do that a little bit with the Oh Shit Odd Shot series. Do you have other plans for that and the documentary with Allegiance?
Yeah, the documentary is coming out soon. I just have a bit more translating to do, because it's a lot of footage in Spanish, and I got to translate that so that it's subtitled. That's coming out. I have some new ideas on my stream, so once I get further down the road, I'll start to release stuff.
So you say you're a very, very serious guy when you play, but people also have this idea of you that you're just crazy. n0ne's crazy. He just doesn't. Scar always says he doesn't care if he wins. He just throws it away. Do you think that's at all accurate, or is it just your play style? Like you just can't help it?
I mean, it's a little bit of both ways, I think, because I like to have fun. Like sometimes for me, winning isn't enough for me. Like sometimes I don't want to win if I didn't win the way I wanted to. You know what I mean? Sometimes if I lose and it was like a good set, I was playing the way I wanted to, I'm probably okay with that, to be honest. But obviously, you should always be looking for the win, right? My goal, and I've been improving it recently, is to balance both things. Still win and do it the way I want to do it.
Is there any set where you've maybe played the way you wanted to and lost because of it, or won but not played the way you wanted, where later on you thought, oh, that actually didn't go the way I wanted to? Maybe I actually did really want to win that set?
Definitely, all the time it happens. All the time, at a tournament, at least one set like that happens, yeah. It's actually pretty common.
Does that ever affect your decision to change characters at all? Because it sometimes seems like when you play your Ganondorf, it's reined in a little bit more in terms of that sort of stuff. Does that factor into it at all?
Well, I mean, Ganon is a bit more defensive naturally, so you can't really like go totally aggressive with him. like Falcon, you can just move around. You can get away with a lot more, and definitely it depends on the matchup too, like against who I'm playing.
So this is the first time we've seen you at a non-UCF tourney in a while. Do you still feel like that actually really tangibly changes your results and how you play at a tournament?
Probably. There's a lot of like muscle memory things I do on the analog stick that I can't really execute on UCF. So, like I said, I've said this before. I think the concept is great of UCF. I think it's an amazing idea. I just think that maybe I need more time to get used to it. I definitely have noticed a few things here and there, but I think it's still beta. We can always improve on that, and with feedback from the community, hopefully that comes to be a thing.
Now, you've said in the past that Ganondorf is actually your favorite character, and you just play Falcon because he's better than Ganondorf. Is that still true for you?
Yeah, definitely. I think Falcon's like really cringy. Like, I don't get why he announces all his moves. Like, it isn't an anime. He doesn't have to say Falcon Punch, Falcon Kick, Raptor Boost. No, he doesn't say Raptor Boost, but you know what I mean, right? I think Ganon is a lot more cooler. The problem is he's slow, so basically the only reason I switched was because they were similar and people couldn't camp me anymore, so I would just like go in on them.
Was your original impetus for playing Ganondorf, was that because of love for the character and his personality from other stuff, or of how he actually played?
A bit of both. Like, I played like all the Zeldas, and he's definitely a dope character. I do like his gameplay as well. Like it goes both ways. I think he's a dope. That's what I think.
So recently, I mentioned your Twitter and how, for those of you who don't follow n0ne on Twitter, I'm sure you do, but you really should check out his Twitter because I really like seeing all the old school JRPG stuff. That's what I'm really into. But also recently, you've been posting a lot about the situation in Nicaragua, which you guys should read about, both from n0ne's Twitter, but in general. As someone who does something that other people would see as, somewhat frivolous for a living, playing a video game for a living, how do you balance that with the very real situation that's going on in your home country?
Well, when it all started, I was definitely thinking on what to do because I'm like, my followers, the truth is this is a children's party game, right? Yeah. And my audience is, younger people. I'm not sure if this is like a good place to like post bloody things, talk about killings. It's rough, but it's real life things that are happening. And I just started thinking that, okay, if I did do that and not talk about it, in the future when I looked back, I would have definitely felt guilty on it, that I could spread the word and I didn't. And I feel like not spreading the word on these kind of things makes you like one of them, you definitely have to get this out there because there's a lot of injustice happening. They're not letting freedom of speech happen. It's a lot of unfair things, and I believe in freedom of speech, and I think it should be that way worldwide.
Does that weigh on you at all, like when you're playing the game too, or do you try to keep those two things separate?
I mean, definitely, I'm always thinking because I'm always on my phone and I'm always checking my family. I'm talking with them, and they tell me things that happen. So, I'm like going through the whole day thinking of it, but when I'm there, like when I'm on the stage, I try to keep it out, like at the end of the day, this is my job. I have to focus right now. After what happens, like after I finish the game, I can like go check my phone.
You said it yourself, at the end of the day, this is a community for a children's party game, but you do have to make that awareness, you have to boost awareness. So what do you think people in the Melee community, in the Smash community, who want to help can do to help with the situation in Nicaragua?
I mean, definitely, if you guys can help me out, spread awareness. Every time I send something out, I appreciate all the retweets, all the sharing. Right now, we're not really sure what's going to happen because right now there's a weekend of like peace. There was a dialogue. But, you never know. The most I can do is pray at my house, You can't really do anything. But thoughts and prayers from everyone for now.
Thoughts and prayers. Well, I'm glad you're getting to spend a weekend back in Canada and spend time here and play Melee and stuff because I really, really do admire, just personally, what you've been doing, but you shouldn't have to feel obligated to do that all the time, too, so.
I mean, these are, it's my country. Like, people are getting slaughtered. It's different if these people had weapons, but they're getting repressed without weapons. They are unarmed. I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's humane. It would be much different if two sides had weapons, I think that's slaughtery. I think it's a genocide, to be honest. And I definitely think, like, because no English news stations I've seen have covered it that much.
Yeah, not really.
So yeah, I'm doing what I can, you know.
Really, guys, your retweets make a difference and spread awareness. Thank you so much for talking to me, n0ne. Is there anything you want to say to end on? Any last words? Any shout outs you want to give?
Well, first off, shout outs to the people of Nicaragua. You know, I'm with you guys. I think what you guys are doing is beautiful. I think at the end of the day, when time goes on, it will be a beautiful moment in history, and all that matters is on which side are you in when, you know, in the history books. Shout out to my sponsor, Allegiance, and shout out to all the fans that are always watching.
Thank you guys so much again for watching. From Get On My Level 2018, I'm Ipengu here with n0ne. Keep watching this channel for more videos and content. Thanks, guys.